All right, all right. Y'all already know what we came here to do. Y'all already know what time it is. Get your, like I always say, get your snacks, get y'all drink, get whatever y'all need. We're about to get into this fucking season finale. Let's get into it. All right, y'all. I ain't wasting no time. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, so so here we are. Luke is afraid. I mean, we've been seeing this conversation come up, or this feeling with Luke. It's been happening since he was talking to Corlys and all this shit. Luke is scared of this whole entire system. Let's be real. Like, Luke don't belong here. As we can see from this episode, no shade, no shade, no shade. Luke don't belong here. Luke is scared of getting driftmark. He's scared of being Lord of the Tides. He's talking about he gets seasick on boats. Meanwhile, his grandfather's the greatest sailor who ever fucking lived. This kid is 14 years old with the weight of all this on his shoulders, and his mom can see that. Obviously, Rhaenyra can see that he's like extremely stressed, and so she tries to comfort him, like, you know, I was the same age as you are right now when I got named as heir, my inheritance, and all this. She just says, I'll help you out, don't worry. And Luke still is very doubtful about this whole thing, and he just looks at his mom and says, like, okay, but everybody can't be Miss Perfect. Like, everybody can't be Miss Perfect like you. And of course, Rhaenyra, it was really sweet. I really loved this moment. It was so sweet. But Rhaenyra is honest, and she's just like, look, I am not perfect, okay, but I can help you out. But yeah, this idea of Luke rejecting this thing since he was even younger than this, it really ties well into the story, right? So that's when Rhaenys comes in and tells her that Viserys is dead, right? And not only that, so not only does she have to deal with her father being dead, but, you know, she hears news. Obviously, Rhaenys tells her that Aegon has been crowned as the successor. So you mean to tell me my daddy dead and somebody else sitting in my fucking throne? Oh, absolutely not. That's why she clutched her motherfucking stomach. And we see, obviously, Rhaenyra is pregnant once more. But she clutched her stomach. She was like, bitch, what? Them hoes are on my seat? Them hoes have my motherfucking throne? So they put two and two together, and they were like, okay, well, obviously the Greens must have asked you, Rhaenys, to swear fealty. And Rhaenys was like, duh, but I didn't. Daemon was like, all right, but you're still alive, so what's the tea with that? And Rhaenys was like, they had the coronation in the dragon pit, and so I escaped on Melees. And Daemon is here. Daemon been getting real buck lately. I don't know. I mean, it's Daemon, so we're not really that surprised. But Daemon was like, that whore of a queen murdered my brother, and it's just like, okay, we don't... Nothing has been confirmed that happened, but okay, this is how these kinds of things get passed through histories and stuff. Like, murdered the king. You don't know. Alicent, as much shit as Alicent did, she did not murder Viserys. She did not murder Viserys. So Daemon says that Horrible Queen murdered my brother and stole his crown, basically, and you didn't burn them. Like, you had the opportunity. You were sitting on Melees. You didn't burn them. And Rhaenys says, it is not my war to start. Now, I do like this answer. I didn't like the showrunners saying that it wasn't her war, but saying it wasn't hers to start, maybe that, I mean, to me, that makes sense. It's like, look, I am just the Lady of Driftmark. I'm not trying to be burning up no royal family like this. Like, girl, I'm telling you the tea because of what I saw and what's been going on, but I didn't want to say Dracarys and then now be dealing with a whole other issues. Like, please. So the fact that Rhaenyra was clutching her side as soon as, or clutching her stomach as soon as Rhaenys told her that they usurped her motherfucking throne, and then, you know, I seen this blood and Rhaenyra talking about the baby's coming, I was like, something's wrong. Immediately, just from that, I knew that something was wrong with that shit. Something's going wrong. And of course, Targaryens, y'all already know the difficulties that they have with childbirth. So then, obviously, the Maesters confirm what I'm saying, and they say her term is far from complete. This should not be happening. I do love the actors are doing such an amazing job, because when Emma was over there, Emma, y'all already know, Rhaenyra, when everyone was surrounding Rhaenyra, and she's going through childbirth, and she's already fucking experienced in, you know, dealing with Aegon being on the throne, and everybody just like, oh my god, let me help you. Rhaenyra was like, everybody back the fuck up, everybody back up, oh my god, like, back up. So Daemon here already planning. He's just like, he wants the island defended, of course. He wants patrols and stuff. He says that we don't have enough men to really do what we need to do, but we can at least make something look good, make something shake. And then we go to Jace and Luke on the beach, and Jace is kind of really bullying Luke. I don't know, Jace has changed. Is that their way of showing us that Jace has really changed? I mean, because it works. Because before it worked. Before, Jace was really nice to Luke, and now here he is shoving him around and shit. I was like, okay, like, all right, Jace, I'm really watching you, bro. Like, Luke did not deserve none of the shit that happened to him this episode. Rhaenyra tells Luke and Jace what happened. Viserys is dead. Aegon been crowned. All that shit. And then moments later, Jace is getting real, like, active. He's like, where's Daemon? What's Daemon doing? Blah, 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 blah. And Rhaenyra was like, you know what? Matter of fact, I don't want none of you men doing anything while I'm in this bed. Or, well, she wasn't in bed, but you know what I mean? While I'm over here dealing with this birth, like, I don't want nothing to happen until I say so. And that was it. So Rhaenyra calls for Daemon. And I saw someone say that Daemon does not go in there, like, while Rhaenyra's over here, like, Daemon, in childbirth and shit, because he doesn't want to make the same kind of decisions that they were trying to make him make with Laena. So I don't know. I saw that people online were saying that that's probably why he didn't go attend to Rhaenyra. Like, he just could not deal with the trauma of all that shit. And it's just like, boy, you're not the one who actually got to push a human out of you, girl. If you don't go to Rhaenyra, just get out my face. Daemon's at the table here saying that, you know what, we're going to fly, or he's going to fly to the Riverlands for Tully's support. And Jace goes in there and says, not until my mama say so. Like, girl, are you serious? I don't know. This made me very uncomfortable because I'm like, it's too much ego around the table, too much ego. So many things can happen. And I was scared for Jace in that moment because Daemon is so unpredictable. But he says, come with me and I'll show you the true meaning of loyalty. Daemon ends up intimidating these guards with his dragon. And he says, you swore for Rhaenyra. But essentially, this whole scene was just like, you swore for Rhaenyra. Do not forget that. Like, I understand that there's another king on the throne, or there's a king on the throne in King's Landing. But y'all swore for Rhaenyra. You need to renew your vows again. Or else Caraxes can really have your head. It's really that simple. I loved seeing Caraxes. Anytime Caraxes come over that hill, just to be like, hey, what's up? I heard that y'all were looking for me, bitch, here I go. And that terrifying scream that Caraxes has, yeah, I would have been, I don't care where I am. I'm bending the goddamn knee. That's it, okay? So Rhaenyra's pushing this baby out. And, I mean, the Handmaid's Tale maidens, that's what I've been calling them that this whole entire season. The Handmaid's Tale's maidens over here are just like, please help me. We need to help you. We need to help you. And she was like, yeah, I got this. She was pulling that baby out, okay? She was like, get the fuck out, get out. I mean, childbirth is just like, whoa, child. And I remember asking my mom, I was like, so after you had me, you went and had two more? Like, after all that stress? Oh my God. So Syrax is feeling it too. I loved how they put that in there of like flashes of Syrax feeling what Rhaenyra is feeling as well, you know. But as we all suspected, something is wrong. It's a stillbirth. And I think from what I could see, it seemed like the cord was wrapped around its neck. So I was just like, oh my gosh, somebody's sitting on your throne, your daddy dead, and now the child that you were carrying is dead as well. And at the we see this cremation, sad as hell. But one of these Erics, girl, Sir Eric, comes up and presents Rhaenyra with Viserys' crown. We kind of saw this in the promo and the trailers and stuff, but he says his Kingsguard oath, which I thought was cool. And I love the moment of everyone bending the knee and just Rhaenyra with this crown on her head. She just looks it's just so amazing. This is the rightful queen of the Seven Kingdoms. I want y'all to stop playing with her. Like, I want y'all to stop playing with Rhaenyra, all right? But like I said, I love how everyone bends the knee. And Rhaenys looks on, and she does not bend. But I really don't think that this was meant to be any kind of disrespect. Like, Rhaenys is smiling this whole episode. Rhaenys was living for Rhaenyra. Like, she was just like, yes, drag these men. Like, you can see it on her face. Like, you can see it. So I love this moment. I was like, yes, the rightful queen is here, bitch. I want you hoes to bend the motherfucking knee. That's what I was like the whole time. I was like, yeah, she's here. So when I say that I absolutely love seeing Rhaenyra walking through Dragonstone with her guard, I was like, oh, and that hair and the crown and her face and her clothes. I was like, yes, yes. It reminded me of Daenerys walking through Dragonstone the first, one of the first times. I was like, so many Daenerys parallels. I love my queen, both my queens, both the rightful queens. Ooh, they would have been best friends, girl. They would have best friends. They might have been lovers too, knowing the Targaryens. Also, really loved the map, seeing the map table being lit up. I really like that. So Daemon announces her, and we have to say it together. Let's go ahead. Queen Rhaenyra Targaryen, first of her name, Queen of the Andals, the Rhoynar, and the First Men, Lady of the Seven Kingdoms, and Protector of the Realm. Put some respect on her goddamn name. That's right. Whenever you address Rhaenyra Targaryen, you better say the full title, bitch. Don't play with her. Don't play with her. So, also, I love this. I loved how she lets Rhaena and Baela be interns, like cupbearers. Like, I was like, yes. And Rhaenys over here smiling like, yes. Take over the kingdom. Take over the kingdom. Women, take over the kingdom. Take over the kingdom. So they go over what's happening, right? So they don't have a lot of men on Dragonstone. We already know that. Daemon might have some loyal men in the City Watch, but he's like, I don't even know how many will be for real. They have some declarations of loyalty from some houses, but Daemon then says he will go sway Lord Grover by himself. Rhaenyra, she seems like she doesn't like this. They of course, House Stark swore to them, but they would have to go reaffirm that. Like, by now you'd have to estimate that the Greens have already made their plays or for these houses and shit, or that shit has been happening behind the scenes this whole time in King's Landing. Like, you would have to assume that. So, but I just don't think that Rhaenyra likes how Daemon is just jumping. Like, it's like, baby, the crown is on my head. Like, let's be clear about that, right? Maybe it's also because she commanded that nothing be done while she was away, and then now when she coming back, it's like, oh, so everybody, y'all got y'all plans and shit. Everybody did this. People sending ravens and shit. Damon sending ravens. Damon talking about going like, okay, so you could see that, I think, in her face. But Rhaenyra asks Rhaenys about Driftmark here, and Rhaenys gives a very honest answer. She was like, look, Corlys is coming to Dragonstone. We can talk about it then, but I can't sit up here and be like, or act like I can just, as a lady of Driftmark, like, I just gotta wait for Corlys. Like, I gotta see what he's gonna say, And I mean, that was a fair, respectful answer to me. Like, what y'all want me to do? You want me to speak for Corlys before he get here? Like, now the topic of why don't you bitches just use y'all dragons was brought up, right? And Daemon goes in, honey. Daemon's like, look, the Greens have three adult dragons. Daemon was like, we have Cyrax, Caraxes, and Melees. And Rhaenys looked like, bitch, we have who? Rhaenys like, girl, so y'all got my dragon too? So, bitch, Corlys ain't even here. Y'all got my fleet and y'all got my dragons? Okay, I mean, y'all got my dragon? Okay. So Rhaenyra said, Rhaenyra rightfully brings up none of our dragons have ever been to war. And Daemon is just like, whatever, what about the unclaimed dragons that we have? Dragonstone has 13 dragons to their 4. We can get into it, right? But now there's really no time to discuss it further, because Rhaenyra has been told that a ship with the 3-headed green dragon banner, I guess, is coming through. We already know what that means, right? Especially if you saw the trailer and the promo and stuff. So we get a repeat of the meeting that happened when Rhaenyra was young, and I loved it. It was just, it was beautiful. every moment of this shit was beautiful. Otto wants to deliver the Queen's message, Alicent's message, to Rhaenyra, Princess Rhaenyra. Who's that? I don't know who that is. I have no idea who Princess Rhaenyra is. I know who Queen Rhaenyra is. Get the fuck out of my face. And then Otto gonna talk about, where is she? Bitch, if she's not here, you should already know, living around Targaryens, you should already know how they make their entrances, baby. Rhaenyra comes around on Cyrax. I mean, she just swoops. She I'm telling you, she hopped out the foreign on them hoes, bitch. Like, she was skirt on these bitches, and she was I'm telling you, she was whipping Cyrax around. Okay, and she landed in the same spot right behind Otto ass. I was like, yeah, with the crown on her head. Yeah. So of course they end up talking. They want Rhaenyra to swear fealty to the Greens. They're going to give her Dragonstone, and of course that passes to her descendants. They will give Lucerys Driftmark. They are going to, what else? Oh, okay, they want to give her sons by Prince Daemon positions, high positions in court, and of course forgive the traitors to Aegon's throne, blah, 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 blah. And Daemon was like, that sounds really cute for y'all, but I would rather feed my sons to the dragons than have them carrying around shields and cups. Like, I don't know why you had to have known. You had to have known this was not going to be cute. And especially if Daemon's standing right beside Rhaenyra, like, obviously. Otto comes back with, y'all ain't got shit. Aegon got Aegon name, Aegon got his throne, Aegon got his crown, Aegon got Aegon's goddamn sword. You don't have shit. And I love how Rhaenyra walks up to his ass and she's so pissed. I love seeing it. I'm sorry. I loved every moment. She walked up to Otto and she took off that fucking hand of the kingpin, bitch. She said, you are no more hand than Aegon is king, fucking traitor. Oh, Otto, you are so annoying. I hope that you get everything that comes to your stupid ass. I'm telling you that right now. Okay. So Alicent sent that page that Rhaenyra ripped out in the book about Nymeria ships and all that. Just obviously trying to appeal to her emotions if all else fails. And Otto says Alicent basically awaits your response. And I love what Daemon is so ridiculous. Daemon says she can have her response now stuffed in her father's mouth along with his withered cock. I'm just like, why Otto cock gotta be withered? If I was Otto, I'd be like, why my cock gotta be so withered? Like, what my cock have to do? You know that Nene meme. Now, why am I in it? That's what Otto's cock said. Now, why am I in it? Otto's cock ain't been in shit. No shade. Let's go. So they were getting ready to fight, of course. And Rhaenyra was like, girl, if you men don't just shut the fuck up. And I love how Syrax just roars and everybody shut the hell up. Right? And she says, no, Alicent will have my answer tomorrow. Back at the meeting, Daemon is pissed because he wants to use the dragons. Rhaenyra says, rightfully, when dragons flew into war, everything burned. I do not wish to rule over a kingdom of ash and bone. And like I said, I love the Daenerys. I don't want to say references, but that's kind of, it just gives me that. It reminds me of Daenerys. I mean, everything reminds me of Daenerys because I love her. That's it. So, but you know what I mean? I really love seeing that. And Daemon was shouting and shit. He was just like, girl, just mad that Rhaenyra is sitting there being cautious. She's being cautious. And of course, these men don't understand these things. Like, they do not understand that. Being cautious? Pick up your sword and let's just lay waste to the entire kingdom. And she was like, all right, everybody get the fuck out. Rhaenyra was like, clear the room. And I love how Rhaenys loves, I don't know. I think that Rhaenys loved to see Rhaenyra just wielding this power. Like, yes, girl, go ahead, drag these, like, do it, bitch, period. I love Rhaenys. Anyway, do you think that's what Rhaenys is doing? Because that's what I think Rhaenys is doing. Like, yeah, girl, do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't rule. But mama, you go do it. And so they talk here, right? Rhaenyra and Daemon. And essentially, Rhaenyra was like, okay, just because I'm mad, should I just declare war? should I really go into war because I'm pissed? Like, she was like, I need to hold the realm together. And of course, this not only, I think, has to do with her personality, but also with what Viserys told her. Right? And she ends up saying that. She's like, it's about more than just me. Viserys shared with me the Conqueror's dream. And this is when Daemon loses his fucking shit and chokes her. Right? He says, my brother was a slave to his omens. Dreams did not make us kings. Dragons did. And I think I wasn't as surprised about this when it happened because I saw people mad about it on Twitter because obviously this episode leaked. As much as I wanted to, I just waited until the episode actually came out because I was like, So for some reason, I managed to avoid a lot of the spoilers, but this one was not one that I avoided because some people were mad about it. But, and I guess I can understand what they're saying, but if you think about, or if you understand what it actually meant, it makes more sense, in my opinion. Because Rhaenyra here says, he never told you, did he? So I think that Daemon hated that Viserys didn't trust him enough. And also, you can just really quickly hear what Ryan Condal said about this in Variety, because he was asked, why did you have Daemon choke Rhaenyra? He says, it's a moment that I think is surprising and shocking for Daemon as a character, but I also think it's one of those things that has been set up over the course of the entire season. Daemon, while an incredibly charismatic and deeply interesting, complex character, I think he's also capable of great darkness. It's simmering just beneath the surface. When he learns in that moment that Viserys never believed in him enough, as his actual heir to the throne to pass this thing on that he clearly just easily passed on to Rhaenyra, it breaks him. He loves his brother so deeply and trusted him even through all the problems that they had, and Viserys never shared it with him. He kept Daemon in the dark, and it just breaks Daemon. Instead of reacting with grief or sadness that you see him out of later, he reacts with rage, and he takes it out on Rhaenyra. So, I mean, I guess I can understand some people being mad, but, you know, because they're like, Daemon, out of everything, especially in the books, like, out of everything that happens, like, Daemon, one of his saving graces is that he loves the people that he loves very intensely. Like, he loves them for real, right? But at the same time, just because Daemon love you don't mean that he just disregards his fucking nature. Daemon can be extremely selfish, extremely violent, and he dishes it out a lot of times on everybody. He dishes, especially his anger, he could dish it out. So it's like, a lot of times the way that you see some people acting with other people, it's only a matter of time, no matter how close you are, before they act that way with you, girl. Like, you know what I mean? So I think that he still, obviously he loves Rhaenyra, but the way that Daemon loves, the way that he gets angry, the way that who he is he's not gonna ignore who he is or his emotions or the way that he deals with his emotions just because he loves your ass. Like, I don't know. That's what I think about Daemon. And I think that's what makes him such an interesting character, is because he does love, but who he is, girl, he's a dragon, baby. He's a dragon. And so sometimes when you fuck around with dragons, you get burnt, and you just got to decide if that's what you want to deal with, mama. So Corlys' annoying ass tries to joke about having men whipped on the watch who fell asleep, and Rhaenys just jumps right over that dumbass joke, because I would not be joking. Corlys, the last thing you need to be doing is joking right now. Like, are you serious? Rhaenys was like, you abandoned me, seeking adventure like you always do. Like you always do. And then Corlys says something here that continues to reveal how he thinks about things, is that I had no other place to turn. I lost everything. That's what he says. And Rhaenys is like, we did. What do you mean? And so that's one of the things that frustrates, I mean, anybody who's been in this situation where it's just like, when someone in the interaction acts like they're the only ones who have been affected by something, and so they act selfishly, and then now not only are you dealing with whatever happened, but you're dealing with this person's selfish nature and selfish actions. And that's what happens to Rhaenys. And she tells him, guess what? Vaemond is also dead. So just, I mean, I feel like Corlys, especially people sailing up here, he probably would have found that shit out already, but like his people would have told him. But I do like Rhaenys being the one to tell him. But here is where he admits that the Valyrian heedless ambition has been a weakness. He admits to Rhaenys that she was right, and that he's done seeking the Iron Throne. I'm just like, God damn, Corlys, it took long enough. How many motherfuckers had to die? You know, and to me at this point, I'm like, if I was Rhaenys, I'd be like, okay, that's great, but how many people we had to bury? Does it mean shit now? Does it mean anything? And then he pissed me off even more when he said, okay, we shall just declare for no one and go back to high tide. I'm like, how, in what realm? Because definitely not fucking Westeros. In what realm, in what universe do you think that would work? Like, do you not see who Luke and fucking Jace are betrothed to? You can't be serious. You can't be serious. I love Rhaenys' comment here where she was just like, look, as much you can say what you want to say about Rhaenyra, and we can talk about all this shit and Laenor, all this shit, but she's the only one holding the realm together. While everyone around that table wants her to go plunge the whole entire thing into war. So Corlys comes in and he does a little grandstanding, but after that, I'm just like, girl, Corlys, she's the queen. Like, you don't have to. Oh, so you don't. Hope is a fool's comfort. Hope is a fool's comfort. It's just like, he came in there grandstanding, but after, like, girl, these are the allies you got, girl. Like, he really came in there trying to drag her. But then he ends up, declaring for Rhaenyra. I love how Rhaenyra thanks Rhaenys because, girl, listen, girl power. And also, Corlys is annoying as hell. Corlys be annoying the shit out of me, and he wasn't even here half the season. He'd be annoying me. So she's like, I'm not going to be the one to start this shit off. That's what Rhaenyra basically says. We will take caution. I wish to know who my allies are before I send them into war. I'm just like, why aren't the rest of you bitches thinking like Rhaenyra? Like, why y'all want to just jump into some war, jump into burning shit up without even knowing who's on your side, without even knowing which houses declare what, without even making your petition to these fucking houses? Like, y'all have to be fucking, y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. But Corlys comes in and says, hey, guess what? I've been gone for a long time. I was injured, but the good thing we got out of that is that, you know, I control the stepstones. The narrow sea is ours. We can blockade the shipping lanes to King's Landing, and Rhaenys even offers to patrol the gullet herself with melees. So I was like, okay. And here is where we get one of the kickers of the episode, because Luke volunteers that he and Jace go deliver, or Jace volunteers that he and Luke go deliver some of these messages because ravens can fly faster than dragons, blah, 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 blah. Jace will fly to, so Rhaenyra agrees. Jace will fly to the Errands and then to Winterfell, and Luke will go to Storm's End. Poor Luke. Rhaenyra even makes them swear here on the 7 not to fight, because it's like, I just want you to be messengers. And this sweet moment between her and Luke, oh my God. I love how she says, you have Baratheon blood from your grandmother Rhaenys, and it's like, girl, he has strong blood from his goddamn daddy Harwin Strong. Like, stop playing with him. Stop playing with him. And then she tells Luke that he will receive a warm welcome. He definitely did not. he definitely did not. It was dark and cavernous. That's what it was, especially on the inside of Vhagar. No shade. It definitely knocked my wig off to hear that theme. You know what theme I'm talking about. When the dragons were leaving Dragonstone to go do what needs to be done. I also love seeing Daemon go down to see Vermithor. That motherfucker's big as hell. God damn. Singing in Valyrian. That was cool. So let's get to the moment. Y'all, let's get to it. Because Luke arrives in Storm's End, and it just looks ominous already. Vhagar is already fucking there, bitch, just big as hell, sitting over there by the goddamn, just parked in the parking lot, in the parking garage. Aemon is already there inside, but Luke he stays focused and delivers his mother's message. Now, Baratheon reads this message, or I guess he has his maester do it. Jeez. Now, is it that you can't read, boo, or is that you're just the lord, you know, of this castle and you don't want to read shit? He said, bitch, bring the maester out here. I'm not reading this stupid shit. So he gets offended and he says, remind me of my father's oath. He basically said, at least Aegon came in, sent somebody with something, you know, reasonable to offer me a marriage pact. You didn't come with anything. You trying to wed my daughters? And Luke was like, girl, I'm sorry. I already got a honey. I already got a girlfriend. You know what I mean? We were actually just planning our date. Sometimes we like to sit at the top of the Dragonstone castle. And, you know, because I got dragons, I fly up there. You know, we bring a picnic basket up there sometimes. And Baratheon was like, bitch, go home. Baratheon was like, bitch, get the fuck out of here and go home. Now, Aemon, of course, is not going to let this shit stand. Aemon's like, hey, what's up, Lord Strong? I want that eye. Don't worry, I won't blind you. Luke is like, yo, I want to go home. In my head, I would have been like, yo, I didn't sign up for none of this shit. I was just supposed to take this motherfucking letter and send it through the post mail and give it and read it to the Baratheon motherfucker and take my ass, go back to my car, start up RHAENYRA'S and take my ass home. That's what the fuck I was supposed to do, bitch. Aemon is not having that shit. Even then, especially because of what Rhaenyra said, and of course, Aemon will beat your ass. Like, I'm sorry, but I would not be one to fight Aemon, especially at Luke's age. You see what I'm saying? Or at his height, whatever. I just would not want to be fighting Aemon, period. But on top of that, I think he really respects what his mother said. He did not come there to fight. He refuses to fight, and Aemon ain't having it. But Baratheon said, bitch, not on my good carpet. Baratheon said, bitch, you are not about to be getting blood on my good tile, not on my good marble. Y'all need to take that shit outside. He said, matter of fact, somebody take Luke to his dragon right now and get this shit out of my face, not underneath my roof. That's what he said. Y'all could do whatever y'all want outside, but until y'all pay bills at Storm's End, y'all ain't doing shit. Okay? So this scene happens where RHAENYRA'S, you can see RHAENYRA'S is like leaning down, waiting for Luke to get on. Like, bitch, we gotta go. It's storming. RHAENYRA'S is not feeling that shit. So he tries to comfort his dragon. Luke tries to comfort his dragon in the storm, and he's like, let's go, let's fly. And especially if you're a book person, if you know even a little bit about the lore, you already knew this was going to happen. Aemon is chasing him on Vhagar, and I'm like, yo, this is terrible. This is terrible. Not my good Luke, please. So chasing, just being an asshole. And I think A lot of people are mad about this, but if in Aemon's heart he really wanted to just kill Luke and be done with it, he would have just said Dracarys. But at the same time, I do still think that in his heart he does hate Luke. He does want he does hate Luke, right? And I think that's what their dragons caught onto. The dragons had such an emotional bond with both their riders that you notice that even when Arrax was running away from Vhagar, Luke did not say Dracarys. He did not say Dracarys, and Arrax still breathed fire. So both their dragons, I think, were latching on to both the riders' emotions, and also the fact that Arrax is scared as fuck. Vhagar is chasing him, so Arrax gonna do what Arrax gonna do. He gonna defend himself. So he said he tried to spit fire without Luke saying Dracarys, and then Vhagar was like, "Oh, so you trying to burn me up?" Even though Vhagar, you didn't feel that shit. Like, you did not feel that shit. You did not feel. You so old. Your skin's so tough. You did not feel that shit. But Vhagar was pissed. Vhagar is pissed. Vhagar is latching onto the emotions of Aemon, who's egging Vhagar on to go chase Arrax. Arrax is fucking like losing their shit because you got this big ass dragon chasing me. You talk about you ain't even said Dracarys yet. Of course, Arrax is going crazy. Vhagar pissed, and then so what happens is as soon as Luke reached the sunlight, I was like, Luke, please keep flying. I already knew it was gonna happen, like I said, but I was like, Luke, you gotta keep flying, bro. Like, you gotta keep flying. You gotta keep flying. Vhagar came out of nowhere and chomped that hoe up. I'm talking about, you would have sworn that Vhagar thought that Arrax and Luke was a piece of chewing gum. I mean, it was it was so easy for Vhagar to do. I'm telling you, Vhagar didn't even spit fire. She was not worried about that shit. She was not worried about that. She chewed Luke up, and that was it. Chewed Luke up, and the dragon, that was it. Aemon was just like, oh my God, I didn't mean for this to happen. Vhagar, no, don't do this. And so I want to do a different video because this video is way too long, but I want to do a video about why I think this makes sense, even though in the books, Aemon apparently meant to kill Luke. Some people are not liking the change, even though we have to remember these events are told by someone who has or Archmaester who's anti-Rhaenyra. So some of the things may have happened like how it's written, but other things may not have. And I think with the way that dragons work and the way that bonds work, that this is a reasonable thing to happen. I think so. But I'm gonna make another video about it. I'm gonna release it today. Okay, so we can talk about it. So Vhagar chomps his ass up, and that was it. I was like, oh my God. And this scene here where Rhaenyra gets told about this by Daemon, and the way that she just buckles underneath the emotional toll and weight of it all, right? But then she straightens back up, and then she turns around and she looks at the camera and she didn't say anything. But you know that Targaryen look, mama. Daenerys had that shit multiple times. She looked that way multiple times. That's when you need to hide your kids and hide your wife and hide your husbands too, because bitch, she burning everybody out there. Rhaenyra is going to toast you bitches up. And when she committing war crimes next season, I don't want to hear nothing. When Rhaenyra starts committing war crimes, start burning up y'all kids, you know what I mean? Start taking dragon rides to the Red Keep, circling, you know what I mean? I don't want to hear nothing. When she start calling her fucking bannerman in, I don't want to hear shit. She been trying to show restraint this whole time, and now y'all killed her kid? I don't want to hear shit. Team Rhaenyra, Team Black. The rightful heir needs to be sitting on that throne. Y'all not finna play with me. Y'all not finna play with Rhaenyra. Y'all not finna play with us. I'm sorry. Like, after this, so let me get this straight. She lost her damn daddy. She lost her throne. She lost her goddamn baby. She lost her son. Okay. All right. Okay. That's fine. No, it's fine. We're gonna see if they want to be screamed at again by another dragon. You bitches just got screamed at by melees, and y'all acting real confident. Y'all acting real bold. We're gonna see how bold y'all bitches are in season 2. Okay? So, yeah, on that note, look out for my other video on Aemon and this whole entire thing with the fans. Some of the fans are mad. Love y'all so much. Thank you so much for checking out the video. I do love this finale. I think it was a good season 1 finale, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Season 1 finale. It was a good one. But yeah, tell me what y'all thought about it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll check y'all out later. Peace out.